approximately 9 hours from the time we are recording it. It will be 24 hours since referee Carl Shepard called a flag on James Bradbury in the Super Bowl. One of the, or I should say it'd be a week, not 24 hours, I think is what I said. You can see I'm all mixed up here, folks, because it has been one of the most emotional weeks of my life. Jalen, I know me and you texted throughout the day on Super Bowl Sunday. I came on here Monday like the man I am. I came on here and did a podcast on Monday, Brains World, and I said I'm not mad in particular about losing the Super Bowl. I'm upset about it. But I can get over losses better than what I have done back in the day. What I am mad about is, and I admit this publicly, James Bradbury got away with a flag in the first quarter. He got away with a defensive hold. They didn't call it. In the fourth quarter of the game, the Super Bowl, one of the most high scoring, one of the most fun Super Bowls we have seen in a long time, the referees decided the game. And I believe that's wrong. And in my heart of hearts, I also believe if Jalen Hurts gets the ball back down 38-35 with about a minute 50 to go with a timeout, I'm not saying the Eagles would have won the game. But I think Jalen Hurts at least drives us down and takes us to overtime. And again, if we lose in overtime, it is what it is, what happens. But it motivates me, it drives me, it angers me, and it fuels me, Jalen, that in my opinion, once again, the officials stepped in and decided the game that should have been decided by the players.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Watching that game, that was probably the best game we had since your Eagles knocked off the Patriots. That was I hoped, and I'm the biggest Pat Mahomes hater. You know this. We've talked about this.
Yeah, you know this too. I'm not the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan either. There's something about him I don't like. I think the NFL is trying to make him the new golden boy. I know you were never the biggest fan of Brady, like I was, but I found Brady likable. I don't find Mahomes likable. I mean, they were saying all this crap at the parade about everybody doubted them and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, dude, they act like they're never gonna lose again. It's like I believe in my soul, and Jalen, I'm not just saying this as an Eagles fan. I'm saying this as an NFL fan. The Philadelphia Eagles were the best team in football from start to finish this year. Give me all you want about the schedule and breaks and this and that. We played who we played, and we dominated the competition. We proved we are one of the best teams in football. We went head to head with Kansas City, and I believe we got screwed by a call at the end of the game.
I agree, and let's throw it back to that night, right? About 10:30, 10:45. Got to go to school tomorrow, so I'm gonna be dead tired. I already know. I'm staying up. I'm finishing this game.
Well, the game ended about 10:15, so it was about 9:45.
Maybe something different like that. But I was not on my phone. I could not look at it. I couldn't. So again, that's probably why I didn't know the time properly, because I was fully invested. I started watching the game. I was with my dad. We were in the living room, but he has to work early, so he went in his room, finished the game, laid down. But I was so invested, just locked in, watching Jalen Hurts create magic, because that's what it was. This man and Patrick Mahomes, I will give credit to where credit is due. This man probably took like 70 to 80 shots of Novocaine to the ankle, and just he played on a bum ankle and did what he had to do to win the game. Now, I'm not saying that I'm happy that Kansas City won the game, because you know how I felt about that. As soon as the Chiefs won that game, I texted you and I said, "What? Fly, Eagles, fly!" As soon as the final kneel down, because I knew that was a
Yeah, I didn't even watch the final kneel down. As soon as the ball hit the ground from Jalen, I turned the TV off. I didn't even watch him celebrate. I was so disgusted. Jalen, you could have heard me screaming from where I'm at my home to Antarctica. Um, and again, I don't get emotional like that anymore. And me and you have talked about this a lot. I've learned to control my emotion. I don't get emotional about these games a lot, Jalen. But I felt that was our year. That was our team. Jalen Hurts played an amazing game, and my defense did not come up big, and my special teams did not come up big. I give you that. Yet still, we still should have a chance to win the game. And also, like the other thing that pissed me off about the whole game too was the field was an absolute mess. Guys were slipping everywhere. I mean, you go back and see the clips on the internet. More so our players than Kansas City. We were switching cleats in and out, but there were times where Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, excuse me, Javon Hargrave could have got hits on Patrick Mahomes, and they just were unable to do it because of the field. I also thought the call they made on Devontae Smith early in the first half, that was a catch that they called back. It took 4 points off the board, I believe. The play with Dallas Goedert, they allowed Andy Reid to challenge. He should have been allowed to challenge. So it just felt, I mean, I'm not saying the NFL is rigged. I've never said that before in my life, but it feels like almost with sports betting and the gambling and these bad calls at the end of games. Like, what are we doing here, Jalen?
it's not enjoyable. It's not if I Brandon, I saw this meme and you if I sent that to you, I saw it the night of the Super Bowl, the end of the game, the final the like probably an hour after the game ended, I was still up thinking about how we could have had one of the greatest Super Bowls in history, and we could have watched Jason Kelsey sing "Fly Eagles Fly" again, like we did last time. And I saw this meme, and it was a Vince McMahon after the Montreal screw job, but someone edited it so it said "Philly screwed Philly,"
Uh,
and I was like, oh no, like that? No, that was so bad. I felt like I was watching the Montreal Screwjob happen in Philly.
yeah.
Like, like the ref was just like, "Oh, throw the flag, throw the flag, throw the flag." Like,
By the way, again, last year's Super Bowl, I thought, in my personal opinion, the Bengals got screwed by a holding call. They called on Cooper Cup that wasn't holding. AFC Championship game, when Mahomes got that late hit out of bounds. Was it late by a half a step? Maybe, but come on, that takes a 60-yard field goal to a 45-yard field goal. The game's over. Um, I don't. I think Kansas City is good. I think they got some breaks this year. I'm not saying that they're not good, but I think they got breaks. And I don't like, again, the referees deciding big time games when the players should be deciding it. And I know refereeing's hard. I've defended NFL referees when they made bad calls because they make bad calls on almost every single play you could call holding. But when it's in the playoffs, and there's this argument, Jalen, about, well, you got to call it whether it's a flag or not. It doesn't matter the situation. I've never been told that. You've never been told that, because what we've been told is in the playoffs, they let them play.
that's the biggest load of BS I've ever heard. Because past couple of years, I don't know about that. I genuinely think that I think they're not letting them play. I think they're letting the penalties fly. That's what they're doing. They ain't letting them play.
So I'm gonna ask you a few questions about the NFL before we move on to our big NBA discussion. And so I'm gonna start off with Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. Because when I had you on in July, we talked a little bit about this. We weren't sure how the Watson suspension was going to play out. We weren't sure about Kevin Stefanski and his offense. So I've said this about the Browns this year, Jalen. I thought the whole year was a wash. I don't care what the record finished. I don't care how Deshaun played. I really think this is the first year to grade Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. With that being said, I don't think Kevin Stefanski is the right head coach for the job. I don't think he shows any emotion on the sideline, which irks me. I do think Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, is a good hire. I think he'll fix the defense. But, I don't know. If you give the play calling to Alex Van Pelt, will he fix the play calling? Maybe, maybe not. I think the Browns scheme is still outdated. Whether they update it with Deshaun, we'll see. But there is some optimism for me with this Browns team because of the fact that you do have Deshaun Watson. And if he is at full strength, I think this team does have pieces where they can win games next year. But as a Browns fan, where are you sitting with the whole Deshaun Watson situation?
See, I've defended Deshaun Watson on the field. I don't obviously personal issues that he's done, personal things. I never looked at that. I've always looked at the skill that this guy produced in Houston. He was a top 5 quarterback in Houston. Prove me wrong. Everybody who says, "Oh, he's disgusting. He's a disgusting man." Yeah, so sure, he's really, really disgusting, and he's got some demons, obviously, and some personal problems, right, Brandon? We gotta all agree on that.
Yep.
But on the field, this man has produced magic. He's done some great things on the field. So I've defended that. I've said, don't look at the personal problems because it's what you can do on the field that matters. So what this man can do full strength, a full season. Now he's able to practice full time with us. He's able to learn the playbook. He doesn't have to rush anything. Everything's going to be a slow process this offseason, right? He's going to talk to Stefanski. He's going to sit down with Stefanski. He's going to understand Stefanski's mindset. He may even try to manipulate Stefanski's mindset so they're all on the same page, right? So I think we're in a good spot here. For everyone said, what was that? He played horrible against Houston. I thought you paid this dude 200 some million, whatever amount of millions we paid him. I thought this was your franchise quarterback. Well, okay. If I go and I play basketball for how long has he been in the league now?
2017, so 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, 5 or 6. If I play 5 years consistently basketball, always practicing, playing pickup games, working on my handles, switching hands, left hand layups, free throws. If I do that for 4 years straight, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be hitting buckets, making passes. And then if I tear my ACL or if we'll make this a little more reasonable. If I go to the NBA and I fail a drug test and they say for some god awful reason you're suspended for the entire season, I come back. I can't practice with the team. I can't look at my current roster. I can't watch games. I can't sit on the bench. I have to sit there and stay home. Obviously, when I come back from suspension, I'm going to be rusty. But people are looking at this as get him out of Cleveland. He's disgusting and he sucks. Well, yeah, he sucks right now. Fair. But give him time to shake the cobwebs off, right?
There's no debate. I've said this, and Jalen, I think I told you this the last time you were on the show. There's no debate. He is better on the field than Baker Mayfield. You can certainly make the argument, obviously, for off the field, and we both understand all of it. But on the field, I tend to agree with you. Your thoughts? I'm going to ask you about another AFC North quarterback, Lamar Jackson. I don't understand why Baltimore hasn't paid him yet. We've seen what they can do without him, and that's not score. We've seen what they are with him, and that is they hold a double-digit lead in every game. Their defense blows it, but they look like legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Just tell me your takeaway on Lamar and Baltimore, because if I'm Baltimore, I would have backed up the Brinks truck for him.
I would have too. This is even though he's a risky, probably very injury risk player because of he throws his body at defenders. He's willing to put his body on the line to win games. He's not the best quarterback. He's in no means the best quarterback, but for that offensive scheme that Baltimore likes to run here, this is it. This is your guy. Give him the paycheck. Go try to get 1 or 2 Super Bowls. Get some. Try to get 1 or 2, maybe one more good receiver, and Baltimore could be nasty.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more NFL question, and that is on Aaron Rodgers. We all know he's going on a darkness retreat. Nobody knows what the hell that is. And listen, Aaron, as you know, is a very special talent. We can all acknowledge that. But if I'm Green Bay, I thought about this a lot, Jalen. The day after Brady obviously got eliminated by Dallas and then decided to retire, the next day I thought about it and I said, you know what? Aaron should go to Tampa Bay. And I said, here's my theory on it. I don't think Tampa Bay should rebuild. I think they have a very good roster. I think they just need a quarterback now that Brady's not there. I think if Tampa Bay was willing to give up Chris Godwin or one of those receivers, to Green Bay gets another receiver. Aaron still has Mike Evans, which would become his Devontae Adams. And with that good defense, I think Aaron can make Tampa Bay work. But I also now look at the NFC, and Jalen, it is not far-fetched. I think you'll agree with me on this. Jalen Hurts is by far, I think, the best quarterback in the NFC. Second best right now, if you don't include Aaron Rodgers, might be Dak Prescott. Because I don't believe in Brock Purdy that much in San Francisco. Kyler Murray's out for the year, seemingly in Arizona. Stafford is really danged up with the Rams. The NFC South is a whole mess. Nobody trusts Kirk Cousins. Jared Goff can't play on the road. I mean, if you're Green Bay, it's like we saw flashes of Jordan Love. But man, if we just have one better draft and Aaron plays well and we don't turn the ball over, we could be the second or third best team in the NFC next year. So, man, I don't know what Aaron's going to do. Is he going to go to Vegas? I don't know. Is he going to go to Tennessee? I really don't know. Is he going to stay in Green Bay? Probably. What the hell do you think of this man, and where is he playing in 2023?
He, as he stated on Joe Rogan's podcast, he's definitely off something right now. He's weird. He's a weird one. Okay, who in their right mind says this is how I'm gonna clear my head? I'm gonna go sit in a dark room for what do you say? 4 days.
4 days.
4 days, Rodgers. And then you're going to go on Pat McAfee show and explain to Pat and the boys how this is going to work. He's going to come out mentally insane.
So he's going to go, you know what? Just because we're on video right now, I'm going to show all you this. I am turning off the lamp right now, so currently you don't see the brightness on me right now. So I look pitch black to all you if I kind of zoom in my virtual background here. I'm going to be in pitch blackness. I'm going to close my eyes to pretend like this, right? I'm going to be in pitch blackness like this. No noise, no audio, no nothing. And I'm going to do this for 4 straight days. I mean, does he go to the bathroom? Does he eat? Does he drink? Nobody has any idea what the hell this man's doing, Jalen.
I feel like you have to eat or drink something. I guess I read that this is what the guy who plays the Joker, this is what he did to get in the mindset for the Joker. So what is it? Rodgers thinks this is going to clear his head. No, this is going to make him go mentally insane.
So what's your best guess though? Did he go back to Green Bay? Is he in Vegas or where do you think he ends up?
Oh God, I don't know. maybe Vegas. Like odds are Vegas because I guess him and Devontae before the retreat, Devontae said he was in talks with Rodgers. I don't know how true that is. I think that team would be lethal. I'm sorry to Derek Carr because he just lost his spot. Like he got cut.
Derek Carr is very underrated. I've said it for years, Jalen. I don't mean to cut you off, but Derek Carr to me is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in football.
Oh, I agree. Him and Stafford deserve all the flowers in the world.
Yeah, you know my thoughts on Stafford. We've argued back and forth on Stafford, though I do give him the Super Bowl. I'm not the biggest fan of the Rams or Sean McVay either.